Hi, everyone. Harry here to talk about George Santos's expulsion from Congress. This is, by the way, a huge news day, that this is only one of two or three coming down the pike. All right. So first of all, some 100 Republicans vote against him. That was really a cascade. And so a total vote, they needed 2/3. They got it comfortably. And that's what sort of normally happens in these very tough votes. There's sort of comfort in numbers. And once it's clear which way things are going, a number of Republicans who didn't want to be tagged as supporting Santos came over at the end and made it, more like a 3/4 margin. Historic in a sense. Santos had served up argument. He'd served up the kitchen sink, including all manners of tantrums and threats and the like. But he did, or his supporters did say, this will be the first time that a member of Congress, only the sixth ever, but the first time a member of Congress has been expelled without either being convicted of a crime, he's just charged for now, or having been a member of the Confederacy, that whole Reconstruction period that we've visited these last couple years because of the litigation to disqualify Trump from being on the ballot. So this is the first time. Mike Johnson, the speaker, who we think really cared mostly about having Santos in the caucus for his razor-thin Republican margin. As an aside here, I think the new election in New York will likely produce a Democrat to replace Santos. We'll see. But anyway, Mike Johnson made that point, and it wasn't a make-weight point. It was something that I think should have been sobering and probably was for a lot of members. Is this the precedent we want to set? What about when one party really has the numbers and they want to expel someone who's been charged with some ethical violation, but it hasn't been proven, or a criminal violation? Now this Santos precedent is sitting out there. The big consequences, of course, for the talented Mr. Santos. This is kind of a disaster day, even though, it's been more and more likely that it might be coming. Not because, well, first, there's the ignominy of it going down in history as such a flagrant, really spectacular fraudster. And remember, this is who the guy's been forever, including down in Argentina. I stayed in my metaphor of dirty, rotten scoundrels. He's played the high con, the low con. He is just a absolutely brazen, shameless fraudster from top to bottom. He's already known he wasn't going to be serving again. To avoid an election debacle and maybe to buy himself a little time, he said he wouldn't run again. So what is the big deal for him? This really takes him a couple giant steps closer to the federal penitentiary. Remember, he's got 23 criminal charges already, and the ethics committee report, which was just blistering, has more things in it that will probably give rise to more crimes. So that's for starters. But second, the guy is worse than broke, right? He's just, robbed Peter to pay Paul. And then when there was no more money from Peter, he went anywhere, and he really doesn't have a legitimate nickel to his name. And now he doesn't have his congressional salary. And guess what else he doesn't have? He doesn't have his congressional pension. I've worked on cases, prosecuted them against public officials where it all came down to that. They knew they were out the door, but they wanted to try to retain their pension. He's dead in the water. Always was going to be, because you have to go 5 years. So now he is got no money and has been stripped of his office, which would have provided both some, he's a sitting congressman, some shred of dignity, but that would translate into leverage for him in negotiating with the federal government. Now he is looking at overwhelming charges based on overwhelming evidence, and they are likely to be augmented. And he can't, he even all the money in the world couldn't fund a successful defense, and he has no money. I mean, does he actually say he'll get a public defender? So it seems to me, I've said from the start, this case is heading toward a plea. Even notwithstanding his grandstanding about, I'll prove my innocence and the like. He is just a now completely broken and bankrupt guy. Bankrupt, not technically, but without the wherewithal to pay for a serious defense, and even a serious defense wouldn't do it for him. It's now come at him like a freight train with nowhere to go. So, maybe he tries to bob and weave, lob in one motion to dismiss the federal case, but he's now got nowhere to go, and he doesn't have the money to play it out. And if he did, he'd lose anyway. I think he's going to have to cop a plea, and pretty soon, and he won't get a lot for it. You always get something for acceptance of responsibility. So I think the reason he was pulling out any and all stops, besides that being in his, DNA apparently, is that, he realized he was holding by his fingernails, and when his fingernails gave way, he was plunging into the criminal liability pit, and that's where he is now falling very swiftly. So this is, a disaster day for him, obviously, in Congress, in history, in reputation for the rest of his life, but maybe most importantly, in his liberty, which is, I believe, in fairly short order to be taken from him as the final play in this very, very sordid tale. Talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.